Hello and welcome everyone to Last Level Press. I'm Mr. Black. Thank you for joining me for another First 15. Today we are playing Magicka Wizard Wars by Paradox North. This is a sort of pseudo-sequel of sorts of the original Magicka, which I enjoyed a great deal. I never did get to play it all the way through its campaign because it got very difficult and none of my friends ever cared to buy it, so I tried to solo my way through what is really meant to be a very much co-op game. So I'm looking forward to this, as from what I understand, this is the early access alpha build of a Magicka MOBA. And much as I never really anticipated covering a lot of MOBAs on my channel, they just really didn't call to me much before. This one and games like Smite are actually calling to me a great deal, so maybe that will change. Already I'm excited about the prospect of PvP with Magicka's ingeniously creative magic system. It's got one of the most in-depth, on-the-fly creative magic systems from any game that I've ever played, hands down. So I will confess right away, just so we're entirely transparent with you guys, that despite my calling this a first 15 with this game, because I played through easily half, if not more, of the original Magicka on my own, I'm very familiar with the way that it controls and the basic premise of the game, and I've also played through the tutorial of this game, and it seems to be very similar to what I've played before. So I'm not coming at this quite as blind as I do with most of my first 15s. However, I also did poke around in some of the options and tabs and stuff up here, and already I like what I see. So let's jump straight into that. I'm not going to go into gear. I'm actually first going to show you guys the store. I don't yet know whether my first impressions of this are correct or not, but it seems to me like there's a good trend here. You'll notice that there are two things on each of these unlockable robes here. There is this coin price, and then there is the box here that pops up when I hover over it, and this little icon here in the corner unlocks at level X. This would be level 4, level 8, level 16, level 40. I don't yet know because I haven't played through a match yet, so hopefully we'll find out by the end of this video whether or not the unlocks at means you just gain access to that at said level, which would be pretty cool. It would provide a good incentive to keep playing, to unlock more things, or if it simply becomes available for purchase at that level. And as long as these coins are an in-game currency, not strictly a paid currency, I'm fine with that as well. I would like for it to be just auto-unlocked, but I'm not really going to complain too much if you have to spend in-game currency on them either. Now, the only counterpoint to there being, especially in a MOBA-style game, iterative unlocks that obviously do provide stat benefits, is that, especially, I haven't really looked at the power of these, so for all I know, they could all be pretty well balanced anyway. But it might be a turnoff for new players if a lot of experienced vets, especially months and years down the line, just kind of have a lot of these things by default and overshadow new players in terms of power. I don't even know if that's an issue here, but if it is, veteran players, please let me know, because that might be a concern. So with that thought in mind, bear with me for a moment. I do want to take a look at the stats of some of these, because I haven't even taken the time to do that. Again, I try to make first 15s really representative of as many of my first impressions as I possibly can. So let's have a look. The hardened robe adds a tough leather armor to make you harder and better, but not faster or stronger. So, looks like physical damage down 6%, maybe? Everybody knows that adding flames to the sides of things makes you go faster. So, oh, okay, that little arrow must mean speed. Alright, so that one decreases your speed but gives you more health. This one gives you less health but more speed. Alright, so far these are looking like give and take. The robe of choice for people who like to prance around in the forest, the druid robe. So that's going to increase your health magic, I believe, or green magic, whatever this is, and decrease defense, it looks like. So all of these seem to actually be kind of a give and take. Oh wow, the Wujiao robe. Health down 200, but speed up 8. Alright, so honestly I don't really think many of these are at all unbalancing, even the high-level unlocks. So yeah, I pretty much redact what I just said a moment ago about concerns of new players being overshadowed by these, because these really just seem to be equal parts cosmetic choice and playstyle adaptation. If you really want to play a heal-centric character, that may be a good way to go, but it's not really going to overpower you in any sort of way. So that's really cool to see, especially if you can just unlock them strictly by playing the game. I always love it when you can either pay it to get it early, or you can just play the game a little bit more and gain access to it that way. That's always really cool. So the weapons are obviously the same way. Eventually I want to get my hand on the Highlander blade here. It's just a personal goal. You know, I would really like to get both that and the Pyromaniac robe. Those are kind of my in-game goals thus far. So there are also new staves. I think I like the look of this one. Yes, that's definitely my style. Fits the pyro sort of look. Alrighty then. As for some of these other things, gear, of course, is where you can equip the things that you have unlocked or bought. Obviously, you start off with your Blade of Default, Wizard Robe, and Staff of Default, unless you buy the early starter kits. Those seem to be running from anywhere from about 10 to 20 to 30 bucks, and those get you a couple of new little pieces of gear, and also net you some recognition by the devs. Because again, as this says down here in the bottom left corner, this is still an alpha, so it's by no means representative of what the final version of the game will be, and they've actually gone out of their way to even include this feedback tab here, so that you can actually give them active feedback on what you want the game to be like. And I can't praise Paradox enough for including a function like that. They are definitely sticking very true to what an alpha and beta testing stage should be about, and that is hearing from fans and players to apply what they have to say to make the game as good as it should be. So while I do still take a little bit of issue with them, I think, having paid content, because I'm pretty sure you can buy these coins, but even that, don't quote me on, because I could be wrong about that. That may strictly be an in-game currency, but I seem to remember seeing something about being able to buy these. But especially if that's not true, this is absolutely everything that a testing phase of a game should be, especially with early access. So Magicka is the last tab up here. From what I could tell in the training mode, these are sort of like more traditional MOBA cooldown abilities and things like from other MMOs. These are really powerful quick slot, whatever you call them, hot buttons with your 1, 2, 3, and 4 keys that provide pretty powerful effects. I don't seem to be able to click on them to see what they do. Meteor Shower I did encounter in the tutorial, and that more or less is just sort of the screw it, everyone dies, including you most of the time sort of ability. So anyway, these allow you to get more of them. Unlock. Hello. How does one unlock that? Oh, I see. Alright, so crystals. And these crystals I know you do get as random drops throughout the game, so you don't have to pay for those, which is awesome. So it looks like you require 3 of these shield crystals to unlock this particular ability. So, again, this does provide a lot of incentive to keep playing. It provides a lot of gear and abilities to reward you for sticking with the game and getting better and playing more matches. That's really, really cool. I love it when you get incentivized gameplay. It's very rewarding. So, enough of that. Let's play a match. Cancel. Okay, searching. Alright, so I guess it's going to do a matchmaking system. Pardon me. I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting tired of hearing this from me, but I will state it again for the record. I do wish that more games, or that just games in general, I don't know of any that really do, would include both the current sort of genre standard of including a matchmaker, but I want to see a matchmaker alongside a more traditional lobby system. This actually really impressed me because this is a pretty new game. I believe it came out day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And that was actually a pretty quick connection. It was less than a minute. And not even Smite does that. So, obviously their servers are pretty well optimized. Or they're just not taking a massive hit yet, but I would find that kind of hard to believe because this is an awesome game, and so was its predecessor. So I'm sure it's enjoying no small surge in activity. Alright, now, I should note, for any of you who have not played the original Magicka, that this controls very oddly with respect to games that people might be more used to. You move with the left mouse button, kind of the way that you might in some old school MMOs, and I'm going to try to get away from enemies real quick. Look down at the bottom of the screen there. See these little icons down here? All of these are a different type of magic. I can't really go through them all right now, but there's water, health, shield, frost, electricity. I believe the triangle thing is arcane, stone, and fire. Now you can hit each one of those hotkeys that is represented on each of those icons to form unique spells on the fly by combining each of those elements. Like, say, my teammate's probably going to hate me right now, but say I want to create just an awesome fire blast. I can just hit F 3 times to load up that little box there with fire. Right-click, and then I get full-on flamethrower whoosh. One of my favorite combos from the old game. It's not really old, it's only like a couple years old. But was, let's see if I can remember it. Fire, stone, and arcane. And that creates essentially a little magic meteor blast that, at least in the original Magicka, did a fair amount of damage. It was a pretty reliable little weapon. You have to charge it. Oh, damn it. Oh, that guy was already dead, so I believe there is friendly fire, which is why you've got to really be careful and place your shots, because nobody likes you and you're the team killing fucktard on the team. And you can obviously also then do the same as you could in, say, Dota, and take out your own creeps if you don't want them advancing before you're ready. You can also right-click if you haven't prepped any spell to... Oh, they're trying to heal me. Oh, thanks, buddy. I didn't realize how close to death I was. Alright, I'm going to finish off healing myself there. You can also, like I said, if you haven't equipped a spell, you can right-click to swing your sword. However, obviously because you are a wizard, and therefore a squishy wuss, you're not going to do a tremendous amount of damage with basic melee. Now, I know you can also cast spells on yourself with the middle mouse button.
A spawn point was lost to
I
the
forget
enemy.
how. Let me see if I can try
Only
arcane and stone. And, well, that made a little protective ward around me. Can I just do stone 3 times on myself? Whoa, that made a big area of effect around me. How do I... I know there's a way to cast some manner of stone spell upon yourself and get stone armor for it. I believe it slows you down, but you become a lot tougher for it. So, it's been probably over a year since I played Magicka, so a lot of my old rote memorization of the old spells has left me at this point.
Won't spawn over there
but I'm sure it will return soon enough. Boom! That's always so satisfying. Alrighty. Now, looking at the map, it's looking like this is not quite a traditional MOBA structure. It doesn't really seem to have the usual 3... Oh, no! No, 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 no! That's the number 4 match... Oh, yeah, that's the meteor shower I told you guys about. I don't know who did that, but they destroyed me with it. Alrighty, then. I like that each of the little creeps actually have names. That's a nice touch. And I've always really enjoyed the sense of humor to Magicka. And this seems to definitely have... Ooh, yeah, we won the match. Alright, cool. This does seem to have inherited its predecessor's irreverent sense of humor. I was 4th on my team. Oh, well. Alright, so let's see what I get at the end here. I got 2 kills, no assists, slay 1 imp, no heal bonus, no damage bonus, 2 captures, so I get a total score of 500. What does that mean? Match XP. Alright, 700, very cool. Alright. Crowns earned. Ooh, are crowns the coins? Oh, if they are, I'm going to be very excited. Yes, they are! Excellent! So guys, you can unlock anything in this game simply by playing the game. Let's look at how many coins that really represents. Alright, so I've got 375. To unlock, say, the hardened robe requires 7,500, so that was a pretty short match and one that I didn't perform very well in, so it's not really the greatest benchmark to see how many matches you would need to gain that amount, but it doesn't seem like that many. You would probably gain, I would hazard a guess, between 500 to 700 in a better played match. and that would then put you at about, what, 14, 15 matches to be able to unlock that. And with such quick matches, that's not much. That's actually a really good rate, especially if you save your coinage later and unlock some of these better ones as you get, well, not really better, but different ones, whatever you might prefer as you go. So that's not really a bad accrual rate for the in-game currency. I'm really excited right now. I want to play more of this, but I've been promising myself that I would keep to my original ideas for the format of the first 15, and I understand I'm coming up close to the end of this episode's time limit, so as much as I want to dive back in, I'm gonna have to cut it here, but I apologize. I didn't get to show you guys many of the magics there, because honestly, I've only seen Meteor Shower myself, so I'm really curious to see what things like Summon Death actually do. I don't know. Ooh, hey, cool. We can see a little preview here. Summon the Grim Reaper. Ooh, my. That reminds me a little bit of the Reaper enemy in the original Ragnarok Online. So it attacks a player that is close by and deals tremendous damage. It lives for a short time and attacks the user if no other target can be found. Alrighty then. Oh, I'll always love these little quotes here. It is not wise to summon Lady Death. She gets mad when people interrupt her chess games. By Death of Moles. I like that. So, ooh, is that a dragon? Tactical Dragon Strike. Yes! Alright, ooh, oh my. Yeah, so, okay, that's poking fun at the airstrikes from other games. Direct a Dragon Strike that sets a large area ablaze and deals lots of fire damage. And apparently requires quite a few crystals to unlock. Alrighty, I'm not going to go through all of these, but they all seem to be equal parts awesome and hilarious, and I love that. So, if I didn't mention it before, this game is free to play. It's in early access on Steam. It just became free to play to get access to a couple of days ago. As I understand it, there was an NDA for those participating in the closed alpha testing of it, but that has since been lifted, so it is now available to everyone, and I recommend it to everyone. If you enjoy online games, give this a shot. If you enjoy MOBAs, give this a shot. If you just love hilarious games, like this has the same sort of sense of humor as, and I may be showing my age here, but oh well, like Conker's Bad Fur Day. It just unabashedly makes fun of anyone and everyone, especially within the fantasy and sci-fi genres, because that's what it takes a lot of its tropes and stuff from. But it turns so many of them on their head and just pokes fun at them relentlessly, but with tact. I can't get enough of it. I know I'm basically just fanboying over this, but my objective critique of this game thus far is also still very positive. I haven't played enough of it yet to really have an opinion on the maps and like map balance, map diversity, things like that. But in terms of player balance, there's no question. This is one of the fairest games I think you could possibly play, because so much of it is simply built upon the modular magic structure. You don't get a character that has an ability that no one else does. Everybody's working with the same magic system. Your gear might give you a buff to some type of magic or another, but like I just said when I poked around in there, it's all a give and take. So you're going to be good at one thing but sucky at another, and every school of magic in here is viable. So it really is going to come down to player skill, and that's awesome. I don't like it when you can just buy an advantage, or even when you can earn an advantage, like in a lot of FPS games, how they used to do it, where veteran players who have been on that server or just playing the game for even a few months more than other people, they've got weapons and equipment that new players simply don't have, and they annihilate those people, and they drive them away from the game. This isn't going to have that. Again, it's all going to come down to how well do you understand the magic system. And again, there's a little bit of a learning curve to getting it down, because it is pretty complex, and it does require a very different set of muscle memory button commands from pretty much any other game because of the way it works. But once you get the system down, it's up to you whether or not you're going to get destroyed, whether or not you've got the good reflexes and the creativity to overcome problems that come your way on the fly. And that, I think, is why the original Magicka was so successful as a cooperative game, because you didn't have to worry about classes. You could just support other people on your team however way you wanted to. If you wanted to play a healer, do it. If you want to be the blasting cannon, do it. But if the healer's dead and somebody needs to be healed in a pinch, you can do that too. And putting this in a MOBA format I think is an absolutely logical next step that I can't wait to see how it gets realized in the future. I will definitely be sticking around with this game. I've actually, truth been told, wanted to find some manner of online competitive game that I could really feature fairly prominently on the channel. For a while I was thinking it might be Smite, and I'm certainly going to do more of that. I kind of want to do, like I said in another video, kind of a noobs coming to grips with how that game really works, because that's more of a classic MOBA. This seems to be a little bit different. Yeah, I wanted to do a little bit more content with Smite, but I think I may feature this a little bit more because it just appeals to me personally a bit more. So I will certainly be playing a great deal more of it. So really, that's all I have to say for my first impressions of Magicka Wizard Wars. All around, very positive first impressions. So I won't hold you guys up any longer. Thank you all for watching me here at Last Level Press. I am Mr. Black, and I wish you all, as always, good gaming and Godspeed.